I was gonna make a different video, but then I was in the middle of painting a mural on my wall and it kind of just hit me how eccentric and odd the club culture is on SSO. Now, hear me out. Before we get to the meat and the potatoes of this video, let's start off with something basic. What is a club? According to the Oxford Dictionary, a club is an association dedicated to a particular interest or an activity. In SSO, the interest/activity tends to be one of the following. A hangout club, pretty simple, a club where you hang out and make friends. B, a roleplay based club where you are either part of a long storyline or where you just basically like a hub to find roleplays to do. Or C, themed after real disciplines type club, the most popular being the synchronized dressage based clubs, but also like I've seen some eventing ones where you just learn patterns and compete against each other in teams. I think I'm not interested in clubs, which is why I think it's a bit odd. Anyway, now you may ask, Vetitor, what's so eccentric and odd about clubs? And here is my thoughts on the matter. Now, there are people out there in the game, mostly children, that strive to be in a club that's considered to be good. You know, air quotes, a good club. And if you're serious about joining it, that one of these, you would go externally, usually to a Discord server, where people, club owners, post ads, sometimes include actual trailers for the club, and if you see one that you like, you sit down and write a bloody application. If you're selected, go through an interview with the club owner and usually another one with other like members, so they get a vibe check. And sometimes before even after doing all that, you're put on a trial run for like a month or something to see if you fit into the club before you have the privilege of officially joining them, and usually there's a ceremony involved. Like, when I put it out that way, it really sounds like you're applying for a real-life job where you're gonna get compensated and get some benefits, right? Except, the only difference here is that people reply to you and you don't get compensated and you just do volunteer work. Now, when you're finally in, most of such good clubs expect you to be active. Different clubs have different definitions of active, but I've seen some where you have to log in every day, or you have to communicate every day, or if something in your life happens and you can't like attend an event, you have to message them and give a reason. Whoops, I hit the mic. Not that you go, hey, I can't join today, and then leave it at that. No, you're like expected to give a reason, and people are being, I've seen, you know, on YouTube for example, because I don't participate in club culture, but but like I've seen multiple videos of where people are saying like going through their clubs and their rules, and they're like, eating dinner or having your dinner is not a good excuse. Girl, these are children probably back from school. Well, everyone, but especially children, have to have their food, and this is just a bit insane that you have good reasons and then you have excuses such as, I'm going to go and have food. I've seen people say that in your application, you need to write multiple essays stating why you want to join, who do you know in the club, or what do you bring to the team, like what do you bring to the club. I've seen people going after others in global chat just because they left their club. there have been an instance like yesterday when I was logging in to do my like light collect, like to gather light or whatever, it doesn't matter, and the person was like going after some poor kid, being like, oh, you're a club hopper, and like, oh, you left my club, why? Give me a reason. Like, very aggressive. Like, bro, calm down, it's just a game, and it's not even a good game, you know? Like, it's taken so seriously that sometimes I genuinely think people forget it's a game, and this game is targeted at children, which is just even more demented when you think of it. And like, I guess that, like, since the audience is mostly children, or like school children, it explains why it feels very like a secondary school, or a high school for the Americans in the audience. If there's, most of you actually are American, I can't say anything. But like, lads, please, come on now. Let's touch some grass. Bro, what is that car? Why is it pulling into my driveway? That is not any of our cars. Anyway, what if I told you that some clubs make you sit an exam to get promoted in the club? For example, to become an instructor, you sit down and take an actual written and drawing test. Do they get compensated? I mean, I've asked one club owner that does this, and they said not at the moment due to the lack of resources, and they really want to in the future. Which is like all the more power to you, having found dedicated players that like give up so much of their free time to better your little community. Great! Like, I have nothing to say, and it's also, you know, your choice. Your time, your choice. But like, I really have to stop and think, like, do these people not like have anything better to do? Like, there's so much more that you can be doing. Yeah, a hypocrite. I know. I'm making a YouTube video about Star Stable. Like, actually touch some grass, which, you know, pretty valid. But like, you know, I'm sure a lot of these people are also children. Also, just have to put this in. I'll never forget that SSO themselves have air quotes employed children for like chat moderation ambassadors back in the day. Freaking wild stuff. Which explains they have so much time on their hands because, you know, children. But like, if they're not, I kind of worry for their mental health to be that obsessed with this lackluster game. I mean, any game for that matter, to be honest. Now, onto my final point. Having adult/older players mixed in with the younger ones is a bit weird. I'm not saying that every adult here is a pervert, but like, you really have to question the active choice that they made to be in a friendly environment with children. Like, why would you want to interact with them? There's very little to talk about, you know? And you're in different phases of life, and being so comfortable around kids that are not related to you, and you're not in like a teacher or a carer position, is a bit weird to me. There have been so many cases where kids were groomed by older club members or even the club owners, where clubs have been made specifically to catch out like vulnerable children. Clubs that are in theory safe for work or kid friendly, but also have like, you know, an adult members. And the way that the younger ones are protected is based on an honor system. Now these clubs are based on Discord, where you have like different, you know, tabs in a server, and it's an honor system that you just don't go into the adult content, or you need to get like privileges. But you can easily lie, and I doubt people actually check. That is fact. But also, you know, there's that club in Germany that was saying that it's kid friendly, but then just got exposed that they were doing like sexual role plays and everything in Discord and acting them out in SSO. Like, that's a fact, lads. Fact, sorry. Like, that's so And SSO does not do anything to protect its younger audience, and is unfortunately on the shoulders of the community, which has itself proven to be predatory and not safe for work. From the openly sexual conversations to the bigotry and hate speech spewing in Say and global chat, gods only know what's being said behind closed doors, and the very much romantic roleplays and sexual roleplays that are being advertised and played out in the game, like just on global. You know, it's really bad, and I have to wonder, for those roleplays based clubs, how much are they actually doing to protect the younger audience, and how much are they doing to ensure that the club is safe for work? Because this game is safe for children. The very least, it should be safe for work. And if you're an adult acting out like your your fantasies in this game, like, I really have to wonder what is going on, because that's not normal and you need help. You know, I want to say that back in my day when I was playing, that the clubs in the community was like safer and better, but like, I cannot in good faith just blatantly lie. I've been too exposed to stuff I shouldn't have been. And while I came out of it alright, you know, it still is frecked, and my example, my experience isn't even the worst of it. There's so much more worse stories than mine. And they're everywhere if you just look for them on YouTube. And you know, I've never participated in this club culture. I never seeked out to be that bad. And in fact, if I remember correctly, back in like 2016 or 2017, there was no like Discord based clubs. There might have been, I just wasn't aware of it. But like, you know, I really want you to stop and think about how far the community went, and just how weird the club culture is in SSO, and how catty it is. I don't have a solution, but yeah, that's kind of it, really. Let me know what you think, if you care, if you even got to the end of this video. I doubt any of you have. If you have, hope you enjoyed. Alright, see ya.